What is beautiful, everyone? We'll do this the same way I do most of these videos. I have no idea what I'm going to talk about. I'm just going to look at a couple pictures and explain to you the source code of information. So, the physical body. So, I come out here and I give a lot of people information based upon the constructs of the mind and spirituality. And I haven't neglected the physical structure of what you live in. In fact, we're going to get into a lot of physical things and show you the secrets of the human body. I just thought it would be better to do it later because people get too focused, too exasperated. Is that a good word? Yeah. On how to manifest physicality. And when you do that, the dilemma is, and this is why I talk and teach in the way that I do, because if you focus on the physicality, you get nothing. It has to be the last in line. Just like if you want to manifest something, you don't manifest out of physicality, you manifest out of spirituality and the mind. So the outpouring, the result of the history of your energy work is your physical body. So we explore that last. We examine that as it could be called an accumulation of energy. It could be an assertion of the mind's philosophies, then coming to physical fruition. It's the same way if you build a building, you architect it first, and then you show it, you build it, you get all of the pieces and put them together. So the physical body, the what you deal with here on this world, on this plane, is completely predicated upon the way you thought about it. So there was no reason for me 3 months ago to explain to anybody what the human body looked like, what it was as a spacecraft, as a conglomeration of heritage and history. But at this point, for the few that have been following along, this is the path from, you start at the top and you build down. You build down. People always talk about building up as a triangle, as if they want to build something from the physical world. Those are people that have arms and no mind. You build from the top down. You build from your mind down. You build from the sun down. The sun gives the information. The support base system is the earth, but it's built from the knowledge and the wisdom of the spiritual realm. So let's just talk about a couple key concepts for your physical body, for your temple, for your spaceship, your craft, what you live inside of. And I was watching a video. It was a kung fu video on how to properly deliver a punch. And this is coming from a world champion. But even this world champion didn't tell you completely the whole entire truth to it. He gave you an idea, and maybe he doesn't even know. Or maybe he does. He gave you an idea of punching by using your legs. But let's recalibrate this, because in every level of your body, in every level of your mind, in every level, there's always sub levels, and there's always a microcosm to it. So when you're doing anything in life, I don't care if you're cutting something. If you think you can use a knife properly, let me use this analogy, because I've tried to teach people to use knives before. And they think it's a technique that applies your hand and the knowledge that you have of focus on your hand as the only thing. But that's absolutely not true. But to tell someone that when you cut something, you have to be aware of your toes, of the tiny little, your pinky toe and your and your big toe. You have to be aware of that on the floor. To tell someone that when they're cutting something, because what they're focused on is right in front of them, is a very difficult concept. But in truth, whether you're playing pool, throwing a dart, kicking a soccer ball, throwing a football, cutting something, throwing a punch, whatever it might be, if you're not aware in your mind of delivering the information to your lowest point, meaning the bottom of your foot, if you're not aware of your foot, you lose energy. But if you become hyper aware of the base of you, if you start to slightly curl your toes into the earth and you loosen up your ankles and you allow your knees to be loose and you sit down into what you're doing. If you're going to shoot a jump shot, if you want to be good at basketball, you would curl your toes, adjust the tension in your knees, and you would sit into that shot. And the last thing you would do would be release the ball. Now, if you use all of those philosophies in even shaking someone's hand, man, you could really shake someone's hand. If you use that philosophy when you walk down the street and looked at someone, you could really look at someone because you'd be identified with your entire bodily system, your entire structure. So it's hard to explain to common folk that you don't look at someone with your eyes, you look at someone with your whole body. Because you're identified and aware of your entire body, and then you're entirely aware of their entire energy system and body. It's like this analogy of what is the first thing you look at when you see someone? Do you look at their face? Do you look at how they dress? Are you concerned about their shoes? And there's always this, what's the first? That's the reflection of the way that you participate in your own life. That's the reflection of you. So you would see their entire energy system. If you looked at your entire energy system, you would immediately look at everyone else's. And you would start with your feet. And if you wanted to create your body in a way to be stronger, to be more capable, you would look at it as an aesthetic that you could increase in size, charge, density by not thinking about doing some curls or doing some squats, but thinking about your base to your skull as a whole system, that everything you would do down to your tiny little toes and your fingers, that if you could increase the strength of those things, then by proxy, everything else in your life would become stronger, including your mind. The strength and the dexterity of your fingers and your toes would redundify itself in your entire body. And you could accomplish this quite simply. You could do isometric strengthening things, meaning, how does your mind get stronger? Well, you think about something, and then you think about the opposite, and you go back and forth, and you row in your mind. And now if you did that physically, there's nothing you need to pick up. You could change the entire structure of your body by contracting and then expressing the energy within each one of your muscles. You could do curls without a barbell by using both of your muscles at the same time, back and forth, as quick as possible. So use that idea. But as you're doing that, what would be your focus? Well, it'd be curling your toes into the earth, loosening up your ankles, loosening up your knees, sitting into what you're doing, dropping your shoulders back, putting your eyes forward, seeing everything with no point of focus, and then contracting your muscle and expressing your muscle on the opposite side. And by doing that, you don't need a weight. There's nothing for you to pick up because your body already had the information in it. You're just expressing the information totally. And you're imploding the energy. You're taking what's already you and making it more refined. So hope you guys enjoyed this. And what does this have to do with these two symbols of anarchy and expression? Well, your body is. Here you go. The symbol is exactly what needs to happen. The compression of everything and then the spitting it out to become your physical body. Anarchy is just like the tree that went and flipped over a concrete block just by doing what it does. That you're walking down the sidewalk, and this happens a lot here in New Orleans. You trip over a concrete block that was supposed to be flat and level, and the tree was like, nope, we're going to move that. And it just did it. And so you express yourself like that. And anarchy isn't this really strange symbol of just create, destroy, chaos. It's actually a lot more. It's fundamentally the smartest people you've ever heard speak are anarchists. But what that's displayed outside in the media world is that they're just chaos. No, the anarchist takes energy within a circle and triunes it into the physical, mental, and spiritual realms and implodes that energy upon themselves to be a stronger, more compassionate, and energetic being. They're usually immortal. So come see me. Come be immortal with me. Have a beautiful day, everybody.